I suppose 10 years gives you an opportunity to say, what if, we'd done it this way. I think that's what we're trying to do with all these little things. We're going to play a gig at the Goldsmiths College, was where we played really our first ever gig, because two of the lads were at college there. Yeah, I think we're just sort of going to and we're also going to play a one-off gig. I haven't decided on the venue yet where we're going to play all the singles in chronological order, just 22 singles and nothing else, which would be quite an interesting night, songs which we just don't play anymore.
Did you think the press would pit you against Oasis in the way that they did?
Well, I mean, it's all, I think, I don't think anyone in this country, wasn't in some way kind of aware of what was going on. Even people who have no interest in pop music, it was on news at 10 and whatever. Yeah. I don't know, I think it was even mentioned in Parliament, actually. So, yeah, I think it was fascinating. It was something that both groups sanctioned in a way, at the beginning.
Did you enjoy it to an extent?
Oh, there was a degree of sort of exhilaration, but it became very sort of sinister in the sense that it helped and was part of the whole sort of resurgence of lad culture, and one of the really negative sides of that was the kind of celebration of sort of all the sort of really kind of masculine, laddish,
what do you
working class qualities, and sort of, we just became, the kind of whipping boys for all of that, and it became sort of almost a dirty word to be called middle class, and to read and whatever, it was very, very anti sort of intelligence, the whole thing. I felt really, and
did
but
you
fascinating at the same time.
Did you realise that at the time that it was all kind of anti-literati,
anti-intelligence? Yeah, I did, and I think we stuck to our guns, really. I think I wouldn't say that I didn't in some way get sucked into it, and but probably more because I was just really like football, so I kind of, with hindsight, I wouldn't have gone on so much about how much I love Chelsea. I met Tony Blair very early on. I was invited for gin and tonics with him and John Prescott, and I had a kind of interesting chat with them, before they got into power, and they asked me what I thought about, the youth, and where their heads were at, and it was all very kind of very odd, and it seemed very kind of calculated.
Did you find that patronising?
I found it, well, not so much, I mean, yeah, patronising, but also very kind of cynical, which was the, I don't.
In the sense that
I think.
In what sense? In the sense that maybe that month you were flavour of the month, but any other month it could
No, not so much that. Not so much. It wasn't kind of so much myself. It was just. It was pretty obvious that was his kind of. That was his style. That was his operation. It was kind of. At all costs, or at any cost, to become leader. Labour is no longer Labour. I don't know. I think they should really change their party name, really. The only responsibility we really have to each other is that when we do work, that it's sort of there's a real sort of genuine sort of focus and direction to what we're doing. It would be very easy to sort of abandon those ideals and just go out and try and make money, but I don't think I think sort of the longer we the longer we manage to sort of stick together as a band, the less we need to sort of validate ourselves through you know, things like that, you know, and the more the music has to speak for itself, really. I think it's a case of growing up, isn't it? You know, just we've done it fairly publicly.
So you're going to do that piano, and you're happy with that?